The first time I looked into you, them eyes, and you have a sad little cute way of flirting with them eyes. They make me feel so happy. They make me feel so blue. I'm falling, I'm stalling in a great big way for you. My heart is jumping. You started something with them eyes. You'd better look out, little brown eyes, if you're wise. They sparkle, they bubble. They're gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. Oh, baby, them eyes. I fell in love with you the first time I looked at you. You have a certain little cute way of flirting with. Ah, they make me feel so happy. They make me feel so good.
Now, to start us off with our event, I'd like to bring up someone who has been a regular at the Red Room for quite a long time. And that, of course, is a very big deal to all of us because we are slowly building a bigger and bigger community of extremely talented individuals. And so, just to start us off, an all-American woman from Washington State has spent the past 12 years in Taiwan learning, developing, and immersing herself within the Chinese culture. Utilizing her language skills and presenting in both the existing and self-created thespian communities, Katie Partlow has truly made great contributions to the island of Taiwan. Now, of course, she's also educated, performed, and directed endless shows and programs, and she will be sharing with us the drive and process of it all thus far. So can we please welcome Katie Partlow. 请欢迎 Katie 上台。
Hi. Yeah, sure. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie, and most people in Taiwan, especially in Taipei, know me as a performance artist. They know that I act and I'll sing, maybe play a little ukulele, sometimes I dance, I write, I emote. And it's true. It's what I am. I am a performer. It is such an inherent part of me that it's the same as me loving chocolate and hating coffee. It's the same. It comes from the same place. And it's been that way since I was born. My family calls me a drama queen. Not a drama queen, I'm sorry. The drama queen. And even my dad will tell you, if you ask, that I came out of my mother's womb with an Oscar-winning performance of tears and wailing. So, yes, I am a performer. From when I was a little girl, I was always creating performances, dances, music. When I was a kid in junior high school, I would babysit. And I would go take my kids that I was babysitting, and I would say, okay, guys, your mom and dad are going to come home tonight. We need to make a show for them. And I would take all of the musical numbers I could think of from West Side Story and Annie and all these shows that I grew up with, and I would make them do them. I was their director, and the kids would be in the kitchen popping up behind counters, and they had no idea what they were doing. But when their parents came home, they had this show. And really what the kids were a tool for me to express my love of the world and the energy in it. And I always done that. But beyond being a performer, something that maybe people don't know as much about me is that I love learning. Without my love of learning, I would not be able to be who I am and making performance a part of my working and social and individual life. My love of doing what I do and my love of wanting to know more and get more information has really pushed me into, well, it's brought me here to Taiwan, and it's brought me here to this stage tonight. These things my love of learning was really brought up from my parents. My parents aren't really rich. They're not poor. We're middle-class people. But they didn't have a lot of money to pay for classes for me to learn my piano or violin or all these things. But what they did do was they surrounded me in my life with people who did those things and who loved those things. And so from when I was a kid, I had my mom's friend was a piano teacher, and she would teach me piano. My mom's best friend was a Japanese woman who taught me anything and everything about Japanese culture. Her daughter was my best friend. And we would go to the Buddhist temple because my mom loved her so much, we became Buddhist. And we would go to the Buddhist temple and play with our little Buddhist beads. And of course, when I was at the temple, I always got yelled at. My mom was very kind of strict with me. So all the other kids would go out playing, and I had to sit there with my book for like an hour, just kneeling. Oh, there's no yawning, Katie. There's no yawning in the temple. Oh, okay. But as I grew older, all of those experiences and all of the passion that I had for myself for learning really, really started to develop. Because I'm a good learner, I was also, of course, really good in school, and my teachers loved me. I was wonderful. And when I got to high school, I was doing theater, and I was playing my violin. I was in a violin group. But what I decided I really wanted to do was to become a doctor. I loved kids. I wanted to become a pediatrician. I knew I was good in school. I wanted to use my ability to help other people. And I thought, performance, it's wonderful, it makes me happy, but who can I help more? Sick kids or people who just want to smile at me when I'm on stage? So I started to study hard in school, calculus and all my math and science, physics, and all those classes. And when I went to university, I started my university career of majoring in biology. And it was hard. And I was happy. I had really good friends around me, people who supported my interests. But after just 2 months of studying, something terrible happened. My grandmother died. And my grandmother was my best friend. All from growing up, that was the one person who I feared leaving my life. And she left at this huge moment. You know, your first year in university, left home for the first time. You're really having to start standing on your own. And when that happened, my life just fell through my fingers. I couldn't get to class. These classes that are hard to study even when you're really ready to go just became impossible. And after my first year, I was doing terrible in school. And I went home after the summer and I told my dad, maybe I should take a break. I don't think I should go back. And he said, no, go back. Go back. You never know if you leave, if you love, or go back. So go back and do it now. I went back and I decided to study, I decided to take a year off from my science. And I decided to take all those graduate requirement classes that everybody hates to take, that are all liberal arts classes, and that I love. And I took history, and African American literature, and acting. And I was taking acting with a lot of non-actors. I went into the class the first week, and our instructor was this Russian grad student who spoke English so terribly that it was a performance just to watch him try to teach us. But he immediately recognized my inherent performance abilities. Not that I'm really good, but that I have a passion for it, and that I love it. And he invited me to come to another class that was all acting students, that were all theater majors. And I said, wow, okay, great. And I came, and it was this crazy, jumbled up class. We were doing invisible theater, which invisible theater is the idea that you do theater with an audience participating, and they don't know that they're participating. I didn't know that. I didn't have formal training in theater. And we walked in, and there was a group that had to do their presentation that day. So I was like, okay, invisible theater. So I can't see it. Like, we just watch an empty stage. What? And somehow through the course of the class that day, we were told to take off our shoes and start working out, or warming up with the class. And they said, okay, take a break. And we turned around and we were going to go put our shoes on and go outside, and the shoes were gone. That was the theater performance. Finding our shoes. Barefoot. Through the entire theater building. 4 stories. But I fell in love. And that class, those people, that activity brought me back. And it made me live life again. After one semester of that, of course, biology went out the window, and I became this crazy theater freak girl at school. And I graduated, and I started thinking about what I wanted to do with my future. What did I want to do? Well, I had this great background in performance, but also in multiculturalism. My best friend's mom, or my mom's best friend, my brother who is African American, all these experiences and all these people in my life, the relationships I had with these people, they had taught me that the key to a really important relationship is being able to communicate beyond words, and to really be able to understand beyond words. Understand each other based on who they are and how they are different and similar to you. And I thought, well, I've got this theater skill. I know that I'm a performer, but I know that this thing, this crossing cultures and crossing backgrounds, this is so important. And theater is such a great tool to do that with. So I decided that I wanted to incorporate cross-cultural communication with theater. And through relationships I had at the time, I decided I needed to live abroad, maybe for 1 year, and live abroad and learn about living in a culture that is not my own, and learn how to learn how to communicate and build relationships, not just communicate, build relationships with people that are seemingly so different from me. So I came to Taiwan, and I didn't have any intentions of learning Chinese, but when I came here, it was so apparent that if I want to be able to communicate and understand, I need to teach myself how to learn and how to speak the language here. And not only speak, start to learn to read. It was the worst experience ever, being here and feeling like 2-year-olds were smarter than me. Can't read the signs. I was in Zhanghua, guys. I was in Zhanghua. Like, I knew nobody well, I knew some people that could speak English. Oh, okay. But I didn't know any white people. I didn't know any black people. I didn't know any brown people. I only knew yellow people. And that was good for me. I was like, I'm here for a year. I don't want to meet any people from a Western country. If I wanted to meet people from a Western country, I would have stayed in Seattle. So I came, I stayed here for a year, and right before I was going to leave, of course, because my life is a movie, I met the love of my life. And she was doing cross-cultural work. And so I decided to stay. And I stayed in Zhanghua for 7 years. I lived there with her family. And we did cross-cultural tours. I started doing tour guiding around Taiwan in English for Taiwanese students. Kids and adults. So that they could learn to speak about their own culture in another language. And learn that their culture does not have to be language-based. Their culture is in their body. It is not in the words that they speak. The words that they speak are one part of the culture that we are. But after 7 years, you know I'm a theater artist. 讲话 I was like a sponge that had dried up. And so I decided to study theater in Taiwan so that I could do more of my work and learn how to communicate with people here doing the work that I do, more closely connected to theater. Taipei is the only place that offers master's degrees in theater to foreigners, so I came to Taipei. And I finished my degree last year. And I started a theater company last year. And I have been working with all these theater companies all over the island doing bilingual, cross-cultural theater, doing what I love. And I've discovered that really words are so important in my life, your lives, all of our lives are so entangled with language. We all live multilingual lives, whether or not we think about it. But the culture beyond that language is really the core thing. Of course, for me, language is only one part. I mean, I use my body, I use my face, I use everything as a tool to communicate. I don't just use grammar and vocabulary. So through these years, I've learned a lot about how to build relationships with people from other countries and people from my own country, because there's a lot of cultures even in one country. And I wanted to share with you guys today a story that I created about language and the power of what's below the language. I'm going to do it in Chinese. It's based on a book that a French woman wrote. This is the name in Chinese. It's 文字工厂. In English, it's called Phileas' Fortune. And for those of you who don't speak much Chinese, it's the story of a country, a world, where if you want to speak a word, you must buy it on a piece of paper and eat it before you can say it. So poor people don't have many words to speak.最近啊，从一个很遥远的地方刚回到台湾的。你知道这个地方在哪里吗？很远哦，很远，你们猜哪里？彰化。这个彰化不够远。西雅图还不够远。非洲。火星。你们还在地球上哦？还在地球上，不是很远，另外一个星球。这个星球啊，它很特别。他们的人民呢，他们如果想要讲话，他们要去哪里？他们要去 Seven。为什么？因为他们要去买文字，把它吃下去才能说出来。所以他们就是去 Seven 去买，然后就可以讲了。我刚好买了一句话，因为我学中文嘛，我有时候讲的不太好，然后我有一个单字我一直都会忘了怎么讲，所以我就在那边买。我想说，如果我把它吃下去，搞不好我永远就不会忘记它。所以我给你们看啊，这字就在这里，是什么字？对，就是这个啦，就是这个，就是那个可以 bicycle 嘛 ，OK bicycle， 我中文就不会讲嘛，那我来试试看啊。真 脚踏车。我跟你讲了，哦，可是你知道这个世界吗？这个世界很特别，就是有很多人很穷的人，他们就没办法讲话，所以他们很安静。然后我刚好有看到一个男孩子啊，他是怎么样？他叫做 Phileas。我在那边遇到他的 Phileas， 他就是那种没有钱的男孩子。他会怎么样？他要怎么去找这些文字？他会去森林啊，他可以去森林，然后他在森林里面，有时候有人去 picnic 的时候，他们就会乱丢东西嘛，就像你去那个阳明山，有时候会看到那些垃圾一样，有时候他们就是乱丢文字，所以他就有可能会捡起来，或者他可以在家里，然后拿一个网子在外面，有时候我们是想要拿就是来抓那个蝴蝶嘛，他是抓文字，或者有时候他们会到文字工厂旁边有一大堆垃圾，他们也会捡一些垃圾。可是那些垃圾真的是垃圾，比方说他就打开就是垃圾。可是这个 Phileas 啊，他就是那一天刚好抓到了3个文字，可是他不想马上讲出来，因为他觉得这是一个很贵、很 precious 的东西，所以他就不讲。刚好 Phileas 他有一个邻居，他叫 Rose。Rose 很漂亮 ，Phileas 很喜欢 Rose， 可是 Phileas 都不知道怎么跟他开口，因为他没办法开口，他不能跟他讲话，所以他每次看到他就说，然后 Rose 他怎么回答？他们那一天还有另外一个邻居出现，这个邻居叫做 Oscar。然后 Oscar 他家很有钱，他看到 Rose 之后，他就说 Rose， 我告诉你，你是我们这个世界最美的女人，而我呢，我就是这个世界最帅的那个。我知道，以后我们一定会结婚。哈！这个时候 ，Phileas 他真的不知道该怎么办，他很想跟 Rose 说他爱他，可是你要怎么跟 Oscar 比呢？这个时候 ，Phileas 他就拿出他那3个文字，马上讲出来。椅子，樱桃，灰尘，Rose 听到了之后，他就 之后 Phileas 还剩下一句话，他从来没有跟别人说的，他就说再一次。If anybody has any questions, I guess we have a few minutes to talk. If you want to ask any questions or make any comments or anything.
It's okay.
Yeah?
If anyone has anything to say to Katie after such a performance and a story, anything at all? If not, then we'll thank her once again for joining us tonight. Can we give her one more round of
I forgot that I wanted to read this to you guys after the story. It's really quick. It was something that I found from Einstein that he wrote to his 11-year-old son in 1915, right after he finished writing his paper of the E equals mc squared, the theory of relativity. And he was writing to his son. He couldn't see him very much. He and his wife were separated at the time. He wrote, "I am very pleased that you find joy with the piano. This and carpentry are, in my opinion, for your age, the best pursuits, better even than school, because those are things which fit a young person such as you very well. Mainly play the things on the piano which please you, even if the teacher does not assign these. This is the way to learn the most, that when you are doing something with such enjoyment that you don't notice that the time passes. I am sometimes so wrapped up in my work that I forget about the noon meal." And Einstein was pretty lucky, because what made him feel happy and forget his meals was writing earth-changing physics papers. We all have our different things that make us forget food. Mine is performance and theater. But please remember, whatever you do, it will bring joy to you, and it will bring joy to all the people who are around you, if you follow it with your heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Of course, for those of you who heard her in the beginning, she was starting out in thespian society in different classes. They had a little game with shoes. And as many of you know, this venue is one of the differences is that, along with the other venues you've been attending, is that we do ask you to take off your shoes. And you apparently have no visuals on where your shoes may be. However, I'm just assuring you that we're not going to play any games with those shoes.
Every time I look at those shoes, though, that's what I think of. Am I going to come out here ready to go on?
You'd better look out, little brown eyes, if you're wise. Sparkle, bubble, get you in a whole lot of trouble. I'm looking for the boy with the wistful eyes. I fell in love with them there eyes.